Hi guys, and welcome to the new video corner. Got my music up back there, as you can see. And yeah, we just finished having a storm here. I didn't get to go on my run today, but that's okay, I like storms. So earlier today, my best friend from school came by and we hung out for a couple hours. I haven't seen him since 2017, and I actually haven't pretty much seen anyone since the last time I saw him. And so yeah, it was definitely a little weird, partly because I haven't interacted in 6 years, but partly because, it feels like I was a completely different person the last time he saw me. And not only that, but it feels like I have been multiple different people since the last time he saw me. Things got a lot worse for me, and then they've gotten a good bit better. And they're sort of all completely different. So it feels like he knows me as one person, and I am a different person. And so trying to express myself in the new ways that I want to do feels kind of weird and wrong. But yeah, I think it'll be really interesting to see how I interact with completely new people whenever I get around to that. And ready or not, it will be pretty soon because my support group is going to have its first meeting on August 25th. We're doing Fridays instead of Sundays because it works better for people. So one of the members is my friend, one is me, and the other four are people I've never met. So I'm really excited for that, sort of as my best opportunity to talk to, other anxious people and sort of develop in the way that matters most to me socially, which is my ability to, have meaningful conversations and express myself emotionally. But I'm also extremely terrified. I guess I'm about as prepared as I could be. In my small role as leader, I've prepared an introduction for the first meeting so that, sort of get everybody on the same page as far as what we're here for, what we're trying to achieve, and get everybody hopefully excited to talk as much as a whole bunch of anxious people can. And I've also written an icebreaker subject for the first day. Usually I won't really have any role in starting the conversation. Whoever wants to talk about whatever they can, but I figured for the first day I should have an icebreaker because we've never talked to each other before, and that'll give us just something specific to talk about, and whenever we want to change the topic, we can. And I've also written a whole bunch of 18 major different conversation starters, which are a bunch of questions, and then they have sub-questions under them so that anytime it gets awkward or there's silence, I can bring something else up that might spark a thought in somebody's mind, and if not, then I can talk about it. And yeah, so I guess I'm about as prepared as I could be, but I don't feel prepared. I don't even feel prepared to be a member, much less be a little bit in charge of trying to keep things going because, I've talked to everybody a little bit, and I sort of get the sense that I'm going to be the most anxious person there, not just because I'm trying to keep things going, but just I think my anxiety might be the most of anyone, and I might just feel that way anyway. I'm certainly not trying to disrespect what anyone else is going through, but it's gonna feel to me like there are a bunch of pretty functional adults, and then there's me. And that doesn't feel great, but I'm trying, and I have to keep telling myself that's what counts. So as far as trying, I want to talk about that as well. I've been continuing to run and stuff in public, so interacting with people in those little ways, and I feel pretty good about it. I feel more tired after I'm done with it, mostly in a good way. And, I just have the sort of constant reminders I need that I'm not the only awkward person in the world. Nobody's perfect. But the grocery store, as of yet, is my nemesis. I have been twice. The first time, I could not get in the store because it was closed. It turns out the night before, we'd had a really bad storm, and they lost power for long enough that they had to throw a bunch of stuff out, and they didn't know when they'd reopen. So I was like, oh well, too bad, have to leave. So I was happy to procrastinate another week. I went back then, and the store was open, and it was a Thursday afternoon, so I thought it'd be a moderate time because, that's kind of the point. I could go to a Walmart at midnight, but I don't want to. I'm trying to figure out how I can be able to, if I feel like I need to go do some sort of errand that other people will also be doing at any time randomly, I can just go do it, make myself feel more functional and useful, and do what I need to do. Because of course I can just get pickup orders if I'm going to go to Walmart at midnight, right? And so, anyway, I went Thursday afternoon thinking it'd be moderate. It didn't feel moderate. It felt like a lot of people. And supermarket didn't feel like a supermarket either. It felt really small. A whole bunch of tiny aisles cramped right next to each other. And then in the front, there's a bunch of cashiers checking people out, and in the back there's a deli which is sort of guarded by a line of employees who want to talk to you about all manner of things. So yeah, it was pretty terrifying. I pretty much had a panic attack, so I just sort of wandered around meanderingly, breathing really heavily, not really able to read the signs, and not able to find anything I was looking for, though I think mostly that's because what I wanted was in the deli, and I was not about to walk past the line of guards to get there. So yeah, I left without buying anything, but I felt like I was ready to try, and I did go try, and I did leave when I needed to leave. So I'm telling myself that has to count for something, and I don't feel ready to try again yet, but when I do, I will, and hopefully we'll get a little bit closer. So yeah, I think that's about all I wanted to talk about in this video. I want to talk more about, personal emotional development and how I feel about one-on-one interactions and stuff, but I want to have things closer to that, again, before I talk about that, and I want to sort of have more complete thoughts and feel more like it's relevant to what I'm doing in my life. So right now I'm sort of just, focused on this group and making sure it is not a disaster, if that's possible. And I think it is. I think it will probably be a pretty cool and helpful experience for all of us in different ways. And there's only one more thing that I kind of want to talk about in this video and kind of don't. So I've mentioned before that I like writing music and I like playing bass guitar, but I've not mentioned on this channel that I also really like to sing. And I've never sung for or in front of anyone because that's terrifying. I definitely don't have the self-confidence to do that. I don't feel good about it, but I really wanted to. So I posted a video on the internet of me singing. And I don't know if it's going to be on this channel unlisted or on a different one, but I'll link it in the description. You can click on it if you want. I apologize in advance if you do. I don't think it's that bad, but you know how it is. Very self-conscious about it, but I just told myself I wanted to do it, so I should do it. So I did it. And I guess that in itself is kind of cool, and hopefully somebody finds it enjoyable in some way. So yeah, anyway, that's all for this time, and I'll see you guys again soon.